for me, I don't like going into court, right? So I said the best way, I would imagine most feel that way, so the best way for us is to tell it to the judge on our terms so I don't have to worry about if there's some bars behind me. So I asked Judge Linda Sackey if she'll come and talk to us. She oversees the traffic court, and she's gonna tell everybody in here how to get out of those tickets. Is that what you... All right. I'm putting pressure on today. Here you go, Judge. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am Judge Linda Sackey. I have been presiding on the bench since January, and I do sit in the traffic division in the Daley Center. I have a few suggestions for you if you find yourself in traffic court, and I know that's nobody in this room, but in case you know someone who finds themselves in traffic court, here are 3 suggestions. So first of all, if you get a traffic ticket, come to court. If you come to court for a speeding ticket, for example, and the officer does not, the ticket will be dismissed. So you need to come to court. You can come either in person to the Daley Center or you can come by Zoom. If you come in person to the Daley Center, when you walk into the courtroom, step forward and check in with the clerk so that they know you're there. If you come by Zoom, make sure that you have your screen name as your first name and your last name. There are so many times where I have people whose screen name is iPhone, and I unfortunately don't know who iPhone is, so I can't call your case. So please make sure to have your screen name as your first name and your last name. Second suggestion is when you come to court, bring in whatever evidence you have to support your version. So people tell me sometimes that they have like dash cam footage that shows their side of the case. Please bring that in. We want to see it. If there's another person you have with you that can testify in your behalf, bring them with you. I have bench trials all the time in the concourse levels where people are contesting their ticket. So that is an option for you. Just make sure you bring all the evidence that you have that day. Third suggestion, if you find yourself either pleading guilty or being found guilty, there are going to be fines and fees as well as court costs. Now, if that is a problem for you in terms of payment, most of the judges in the traffic division are willing to let you do community service in lieu of the fines and fees. So you should ask for it. If it's a problem for you and you can't do the fines and fees, just ask, may I do community service? And that's almost always granted. So those are my few tips for the traffic division. Happy to speak with you today. Are we doing questions? Okay, are there any questions for me? Yes.
I know this may sound strange coming from me, but if you can address what's happening with the ICE. Oh, no. And I only say that because what they're doing, or what they could do, is that any of us could get rounded up. Yeah. So if we happen to be in a situation like that, what is your recommendation about how we deal with them in that circumstance?
So I know that that is a huge issue that is a concern for all of us. As a sitting judge, I can't make public statements on pending or impending cases. And of course, ICE and the situation with them is going to be, it is already in some of the federal courts. I have no doubt that it's going to be in the courts going forward. So I can't make a public statement on ICE or on what, other than please be safe out there. I really can't say too much more just because I'm not allowed to.
No, hold on. You just told us how to deal with traffic situations.
Correct.
So if ICE picks me up, you can't tell me how to deal with the ICE situation?
No, I can't.
Why not?
So Representative Davis.
But I'm only asking because, and I say why, because that's just in my nature. But again, you just told us how to come to court to deal with a traffic situation.
Right, because those are cases that are before me, and that's a situation that I can address because it's before me. In terms of ICE, the Code of Judicial Conduct, what I can tell you about is our recommendations that we've been given from the Chief Judge in terms of how we handle it if ICE comes into our courtroom. And so the short answer about ICE in our courtroom is they're not allowed to make arrests inside of our courtroom because that's disruptive. So ICE can't wear masks in our courtroom and they can't make arrests in our courtroom. Now, if it's outside of the courtroom, because I'm a state court judge and immigration is dealt with federally, that's not something that I have control over and I really can't speak to.
Well, then my recommendation, Mayor, is that maybe there is a legal clinic a law service that you might want to encourage to come to your next meeting. And again, not that I anticipate anybody in here to have that problem, but you just never know. Well, we might know people who are in that situation. So if someone can just offer, what I can say is a week ago, I was visiting alternative schools in California. And one of the alternative schools gave kids a little card that said, if you are ever in an ICE situation, this card outlined, you know, kind of telling you your rights and how you can interact with them. That's what I was hoping you might be able to tell me.
No, as a judge, I'm not able to do
But if
that.
you can
I have a question behind you.
Yes.
What can you do about faulty red light cameras? I mean, because I had an incident where I crossed the street, it was yellow, but I got a ticket saying that it was red. So I'm just wondering, is there anything that can be done about faulty red light cameras?
Was that in the city of Chicago?
Yes.
Okay, I believe you would contact, it would either be the Secretary of State or the city of Chicago to figure out, you know, maybe ask them for documentation that the lights are functioning, something to that effect.
Because they sent me a ticket. They sent me a
Right.
picture of the ticket. You could see the light was yellow,
Okay,
right? But I still...
so that would be something that you would go into court and contest and say, look, as you can see right here, the light was yellow and it wasn't red, so I shouldn't have received a ticket. And that's absolutely, when I was saying earlier about bring the evidence you have, that sounds like good evidence.
I should have came to your court because they still charged me.
Yeah.
I still got charged for it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure speaking with you. Thank you all.
All right, if we can't give a hand, Judge Linda Sackey. It's always important to know who sits on the bench, so thank you very much for joining us.